The Ryazan oil refinery in Russia has suspended operations and for now cannot process crude oil for cars at its main facility. And it is the most powerful unit at the plant. This was reported by Reuters, citing its own sources. The disruption occurred as a result of a Ukrainian drone attack on Thursday night. The Ryazan oil refinery is one of the largest in Russia, with a capacity of over 17 million tons of oil per year. The local governor reported that 8 UAVs were shot down in the region. There were no casualties, but debris fell on an industrial facility, and judging by these images, there was a significant fire. The commander of Ukraine's unmanned systems forces, Robert Magyar-Brovdy, also confirmed that this attack was carried out by Ukrainian defenders.
A hot night for the occupiers. Thick black smoke and flames rose above temporarily occupied Luhansk. Social media users were quick to share footage of the blaze. They also reported a whole series of explosions at an oil depot in the southern part of the city. Fuel for the enemy army was supplied from here. And the fiery show began after a drone attack. As usual, friendly drones also paid a visit to Russian oil refineries. They tested, among others, the Ryazan oil refinery, one of the largest in Russia. Its capacity is over 17 million tons of oil per year. The local governor reported that 8 UAVs were shot down in the region. There were no casualties, but debris fell on an industrial facility. And judging by these shots, the fire was intense. The fact that both attacks were carried out by Ukrainian defenders has already been confirmed by the commander of Ukraine's unmanned systems forces, Robert Magyar-Brovdy. Ukrainian soldiers say that striking Russian oil refineries is a special kind of satisfaction, because it is the oil refineries that supply fuel to the occupying army, and on top of that, they burn especially fiercely. Natalia Nahorna's film crew managed to see how Ukrainian drones strike Russia and then track on Russian social media what was achieved. And we ask our viewers not to worry that our report is revealing positions to the enemy. The locations of future launches are constantly changing, and the fighters of the 1st Battalion of the 14th Regiment of the Unmanned Systems Forces do not see any threat to their safety in this material. Verified.
What is this?
We didn't go to the oil depot anymore, not at all.
This is the launch point for our long-range drones. It's a secret location, because this is where preparations are made for deep strikes to launch drones far into the enemy's rear. The soldiers of the 1st Battalion of the 14th Unmanned Systems Regiment are in high spirits.
It's just incredible how happy they are.
But they themselves say that the real emotions are still ahead. This is a dose of Ukrainian fury flying to cause an uprising in Russia. And we will be waiting for the results. Kasper, the battalion commander, is showing us the aircraft, and in moments like these, he always wants to be close to his men.
Today's paradise, just like it used to be Kiev, Moscow. Today our paradise is Ukraine, Russia. It's going to be a lot of fun, it's going to be funny, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to burn, it's going to blaze. I think it will burn so much that they won't know what hit them.
Kasper warns that you can't let your guard down here. The Russians are constantly searching for where our drones are launching from.
Listen, it's always dangerous.
The launches are taking place on the Day of Remembrance for the fallen, so today the names of our comrades are here.
For all the fallen.
And not just for the adults. We know the drones will fly toward Russia, but as for exactly where, we can only guess.
Look, if some oil refinery is on fire, it wasn't us. It wasn't us, it was some good drones launched by who knows whom.
The number of aircraft heading abroad will remain classified information. How many planes are taking off?
Enough. I'll just say enough. Remember, it's like with that Rolls-Royce. When asked about the engine's power, the answer was enough.
But the operation can be considered successful even if just every third drone manages to break through the Russian air defenses.
These
drones are smart.
It already knows its target, where it's flying.
And they're expensive.
But the damage they'll cause will be with a coefficient of XXX. So all of this is economically justified.
And for each drone, it's a one-way trip.
It will be death for Ukraine.
Good luck, little one, go on. And so, on command, they take off into the sky one after another. Kaspar says we'll find out about the consequences of the strike from outraged Russians.
That's enough stories for today, but what about us? Well, friends, you're all involved, but what about us?
Now all we can do is wait. Meanwhile, somewhere in the Krasnodar region...
Do you really think it's a UAV?
It's already on fire. Residents of the region report that near Gelendzhik they hear sounds that, I quote, resemble explosions. In Krasnodar, they're counting so-called bangs. The local mayor urges city residents to remain calm and trust only official sources.
Yes, indeed.
So-called official sources report that there were 8 explosions, the drones were flying low and buzzing, a fire broke out, but at the moment it's unclear exactly what's burning.
Here now!
The oil refinery is on fire, visible from Yablonovsky. Residents are being asked not to take photos or record videos.
Here?
Again. Then they clarify that only fragments fell. Only one technological unit was damaged. The fire covered an area of 300 square meters. Supposedly, 30 drones were destroyed, and yes, it was an oil refinery, with a capacity of 3 million tons of fuel per year.
Something still reached the oil depot, there's black smoke coming from that side, and the emergency worker said that it really is there.
Air traffic is being restricted in Volgograd and Sochi, and ground routes are also being blocked, including the Yablonovsky Bridge and nearby streets.
We didn't go to the oil depot anymore.
We won't go to the oil depot anymore because it's burning hard, all around the perimeter. Smoke is rising.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian reconnaissance drones continue to keep flying and operating.
You can hear it, there it goes.
There it goes.
This is already the Samara region, the city of Syzran. An even more powerful oil refinery, 8.5 million tons of fuel per year.
They're shooting at it just right now.
They're probably shooting at it. We need to get out of here. All of Samara is covered in smoke. Everything is black. Something's blowing up again over there. A drone struck.
Judging by the locals' comments, this isn't the first time something has hit here.
The refinery is burning again and there was a siren.
The Russian emergency alert asks people not to go outside. Planes are being grounded at the local airport.
Let's go, or they'll close Samara too.
Official reports state that some drone attacks were prevented, and they only mention an attempted attack. While Russian oil refineries were burning, the night in Ukraine was not an easy one. Shaheds and ballistic missiles were flying at us, but these attacks did not go unpunished.
Natalia.
Nahorna Ihor Siri, Oleksiy Tsober, Pavlo Sadovnikov, TSN. One verdict. Marathon United News.
The Russians have relocated their strategic aviation to the Ukrainka airfield in the far east of the Russian Federation, and now during attacks on our territory they are operating with fewer aircraft. This was the result of the Pavutine special operation by the Security Service of Ukraine. This was announced by the head of the Security Service of Ukraine, Vasyl Malyuk, during a press conference and on the occasion of the release of a postage stamp in honor of Pavutine. Ukrposhta presented a symbolic postage issue for the 34th anniversary of Ukraine's independence. Its print run is 300,000 copies. The postage stamps depict a truck and drones attacking Russian military airfields. The Security Service of Ukraine carried out the Pavutine operation on the first day of summer. At that time, the drones struck 41 aircraft, which is more than a third of Russia's strategic aviation, at the Olenya, Ivanovo, Belaya, and Diaghilevo airfields. The strike hit Tu-95, Tu-22M3, and Tu-160 bombers, which the Russians used to attack Ukrainian cities, as well as A-50 reconnaissance aircraft. The enemy's losses as a result of the Pavutine special operation exceeded $7 billion, says Vasyl Malyuk.
They are now operating with fewer aircraft, and that's really true. They were forced to relocate their strategic aircraft to the easternmost point, the Ukrainka airfield. And now, in order to approach Ukrainian territory and launch their devastating attacks on cities, they have to cover a very, very long distance. Of course, we are not stopping here. We have gained invaluable operational and combat experience, and many other interesting and truly unique operations are currently being planned and prepared.